This is the latest, greatest Merida Silex 4000 gravel bike, and in this episode I will give you the buyer's guide for this bike, and also at the end I will tell you should you just go ahead and buy this bike or should you just consider it. So hello friends, and welcome to another episode of Cycling Insider. So here we have a very interesting new gravel bike from Merida, and it's their 2024 model Merida Silex 4000 with the retail price of 2,250 British pounds. So first we can answer the question, who is this bike for? So as always with these gravel bikes, you need to think about it like this. So if majority of your time is spent on the road, but from time to time you definitely like to go a bit of off-roading, nothing too demanding, or maybe you like to do some bike packing, then definitely you should consider the gravel bikes. And Merida always has been an excellent value for money, and we will see with this bike what are you getting for your hard-earned 2,250 British pounds. Speaking about this retail price, I believe it's a very competitive price on the market currently, because when you consider some other gravel bikes from certain other bike manufacturers, the prices are just much higher than this bike. So okay, when we dive into the specifications on this bike, we can kick off with the paint schemes on offer. As you can see, there is only one paint scheme on offer for this bike. It is this beautiful bronze paint scheme, and definitely I would have no hesitations in taking this paint scheme, but there is no other paint scheme to choose from with this specific Merida Silex 4000 model for the UK market. As I'm looking at it, I am not so sure if on some other markets this model will even be available. So as it is now, there is only one paint scheme, this kind of beautiful bronze paint scheme on offer. When we dive into the specifications of the frame and the fork, so what are you really getting for your hard-earned money? So the frame is a carbon fiber frame from Merida, their CF2 level carbon fiber frame, and the same thing goes for the fork. So this frame comes with a lifetime warranty from Merida, 12mm through axles both front and the back, and also the flat mount disc brakes. I will also mention here that the maximum tires you can fit on this bike are 47mm front and the back, which is absolutely superb for the gravel bike. Also, with this carbon fiber frame, as I said, there is a lifetime warranty from Merida, and Merida has a huge heritage in making carbon fiber frames, and definitely there should be no problems with the quality control of these carbon frames. With the bottom bracket here, this is a classical BSA threaded bottom bracket. Again, super easy to service, and definitely your local mechanic will love you. When we look at the wheelset on this bike, this is a classical aluminum wheelset from Merida, their Expert SL2 wheelset. 25mm is the rim height, and 23mm is the inner rim width, and also this wheelset is tubeless ready, and it uses Merida's own VP CL hubs. I have no experience with these hubs. I'm guessing they are classical center lock sealed cartridge bearing hubs with 32 spokes, as I see on front and the rear wheel. So again, I would expect it to be, you know, decent quality out of the box. But definitely in the future, one of the suggestions here would be, for example, to have a look at the DT Swiss wheels. For example, you can have a look at their GR 1600 wheelset, which is aluminium gravel wheelset, and the retail price is approximately $750 or 600 euros, and this aluminium wheelset has a total weight of about 1,660 grams and comes with the superb DT Swiss 350 hubs. These are the hubs with the DT Swiss ratchet system, 36 SL ratchet system. and this wheelset also comes with the DT Swiss aero spokes, and the rim height will be 25 millimeters. So this, for example, would be an advice to you in the future to just consider maybe upgrading this wheelset to the DT Swiss GR 1600 wheelset. Okay, looking at the tires on this bike, both the front and the back, Maxxis Rambler tires, 45mm tires, so a lot of air volume, nice smooth ride, and also these tires are with the Maxxis exo kind of technology skin, puncture resistant, and they are tubeless ready, which is all superb in this case. Again, in the future, 45mm tires are totally fine to keep here, just because of, a lot of air volume and a good smooth bike ride. And the frame and the fork, they can take up to 47mm tires, so also already these tires are at the maximum width that this frame and the fork can take. I'll just mention here now, when we look at the group set of this bike, it's a very interesting mixture of Shimano's GRX 400 series and GRX a bit of 600 series. GRX group set is the dedicated gravel group set from Shimano. They're mechanical, in this instance, gravel group set. So for example, when you look at the crankset on this bike, you will get the Shimano's GRX 600 crankset, which has double chainring at the front, so chainrings at the front, so 4630 chainrings at the front. This is paired with the Shimano's HG50 cassette, and this is a 10-speed cassette, so 1136 cassette at the back, 4630 chainrings at the front. You definitely have a huge gear range, in my opinion, but just keep in mind that this is a 10-speed mechanical group set on this bike. So the shifters, front mech and the rear mech, everything is the Shimano GRX 400 group set, so 10-speed mechanical group set. And also, of course, the chain, here they are using the KMC X10 chain, 10-speed compatible chain, not the Shimano's chain, but again, I wouldn't have any problems here. But again, the main thing you need to remember with this bike is that you are getting a 10-speed group set from Shimano's GRX 400 group set. And I'll just point out here that, of course, in today's world of 11-speed and 12-speed group set, this is a bit of the rare thing to see, a 10-speed group set, and there is no problems generally, in my opinion. But one thing to keep in mind is that I am not so sure how long Shimano will keep the parts for the 10-speed group sets in the future. So for example, these cassettes like the HG50 cassette or HG500 cassette, maybe you want to buy yourself an extra, 2 cassettes, 3 cassettes, so you just have it in the future when you need to service it, and also maybe to buy, some kind of Shimano's 10-speed compatible chains, again, in the future, so you have enough parts to service this bike. For example, this Shimano's HG54 chain, which is a 10-speed compatible chain. So these are some considerations with this 10-speed group set, just because not a lot of bike today on the market come with the 10-speed Shimano mechanical group set anymore. When it comes to the braking system, of course, hydraulic disc brakes from Shimano, again in this case Shimano GRX 400 series, with the Shimano's RT10 braking rotors. So these braking rotors are very basic Shimano's braking rotors, 180mm both front and the back, and for example, in the future you might want to upgrade these rotors. You can go, for example, with the Shimano's RT64 braking rotors, or even go, what I would advise you, have a look at the Shimano's braking rotors from the mountain bike world, something like the Shimano's SLX or XT braking rotors, and also use them as 180mm braking rotors front and the back. This is great that out of the box you will get 180mm rotors, just because you will have an excellent heat dissipation on this bike and also the stopping power. Now, when you look at some of the smaller pieces on the bike, like the handlebar and the stem, both of them are aluminium pieces, so Merida's own aluminium pieces, which is perfectly fine. and since nothing is proprietary here, it's very easy to replace in the future or adjust your position on the bike. And for example, again, depending on the size of the frame on this bike, the handlebar, for example, for the size medium is 42 centimeters, and then for the size large and XL, the size is going to be 440 millimeters for the handlebar. So again, just keep that in mind. If you maybe want a narrower handlebar, then maybe you want to, buy in the future something like 400 millimeters handlebar. When it comes to the saddle and the seat post, a saddle is from the Merida Comp SL saddle. I can't give much comments about this saddle, like the comfort or the durability of this saddle. I've never tested it, but I hope it's going to be decent out of the box, and since saddles are a personal preference, I always believe it's very easy to upgrade the saddle in the future. Also, when it comes to the seat post, I'm glad that they are using here the carbon fiber seat post, 27.2 millimeters. Again, nothing strange, nothing proprietary, classical carbon fiber seat post. And it's always good because these carbon fiber seat posts will definitely soak up a lot of smaller road bumps. And as I see here, when it comes to the bottle cages with the bike, you will have the feedlock integrated base for the bottle cages, and you'll also get the Merida bottle, which is a nice addition in this case. So in a summary, what is my advice to you when you consider the retail price of this bike is 2,250 British pounds. Well, definitely, when you consider that you are getting the carbon fiber frame and the fork from Merida on this bike, also the carbon fiber seat post, and in my opinion, perfectly fine Shimano GRX 400 Groupset, I would definitely advise you should go ahead and just buy this gravel bike. Again, one thing to consider is that this is a 10-speed mechanical Groupset, so maybe, buy yourself an extra cassette or the chain, just because in the future I'm not so sure how is it going to be with the parts for this 10-speed Groupset from Shimano, because as you know, everything is moving to 11 and 12-speed Groupsets, and as I said, there is always a good option in the future to upgrade this standard wheelset on the bike to something from DT Swiss, for example DT Swiss GR 1600 wheelset. And also, if you want to play a little bit in the future with the braking discs, then I would definitely advise you to use something from the Shimano's mountain bike world, Shimano SLX, Shimano XT braking rotors. But all in, for 2,250 British pounds, definitely green light from me. It's a very interesting offering for a gravel bike from Merida, this latest greatest Merida Silex 4000. So this is gonna be it for today. I hope you like what I'm doing, and if you do, keep on watching, keep on liking, and as always, I will see you soon in the next episode. Cheers!